Hi everybody, welcome to TFT Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. And this is me, Oberon, with Goth Tarot. And it's my look into the shadow issues of our lives, including a little bit of affirmations with the shadow work. So we're going to start right away. And I have previously selected to read a shadow work from the Dark Light Oracle, Spring, number 11. Everything that blossoms. I am the spring fairy. I slept all winter, but now I am wide awake and eager to have everything blossoming around me. I want green leaves, strong trees, and colorful flowers. I want sparkling juice to nourish my projects. What about you? What is your new project? What are you about to start? Gather your will and enthusiasm and begin the adventure. I want you to be dynamic, active, young at heart, confident. I want spring to flower in your mind. Help your ideas to grow by putting all your energy into the service of your dream. Spread your wings and fly high in the blue spring sky. I will watch over you and make sure that your project develops like a powerful tree. Affirmation. I am starting something new with enthusiasm and confidence. I believe in my project and I will do whatever it takes to make it blossom. And you know, of course, spring equinox is a little bit past, and we've been through a retrograde. We're in a retrograde, and we've been through the eclipse and a lot of energies, but it's still never a bad time to think about that. Spring is still here, and we don't reach mid-spring until May 1st, Beltane, if you want to call it that. So I think this is a nice tone setter for us that, you know, as Goths, we need to be aware still of what our projects are, what we want to produce. So Goth Tarot is a 5 to 6 card reading. I like to think of the pentagram symbol, things like that. And we look at different qualities in our lives through a darker lens. So I use darker themed tarot decks. So it's 5 different spots. And the first spot is the dark design, which is your overall environment, what's going on right now. And so I'm going to use the Gothic Tarot for that. It's the reverse Eight of Cups. You're not able really to project yourself towards a better you at this time. Something is holding you back. You may feel you're just not really ready to evolve in this matter, whatever it is, or to grow. Something that is mostly within yourself wants to hold you back. It may be that you have fears. We're going to look at that now as the dark shadows. And I'm using the Ghost Tarot. And the dark shadows is what is haunting us. So this answers perhaps that question. What could be holding us back? What are the things we fear, realistically or otherwise? It's the major arcana 18. The moon. It's reversed. The moon is reversed. What holds us back, what we fear, is something we don't want to be understood or perceived by others. Additionally, this could mean that we're afraid of what we are haunted by what we have uncovered ourselves, what mysteries we're seeing. In the context of the first card, I like the former answer, that maybe we're haunted by something that keeps us back there because there's a despair or there's a lack of hope in us believing that this thing could come true, perhaps. It haunts us. We don't want to be wrong again, perhaps. So we need to peer deeper, and for that we need the dark drama. For the dark drama, I use the Todd Alcott's Horror Tarot, which is an homage to horror-themed paperbacks, movie posters, monster magazines, monster horror comic books of a more vintage or pulp-like era. And the dark drama is named thus because what we're looking at is maybe the things that people are saying, the drama, the gossip, the undercurrents that are around this situation, why we feel daunted by trying to expand ourselves. What is it we fear coming out? Whoops, I gotta stop and pick those up. I got them. All right. So what is our dark drama? What's really at the basis, perhaps, of this fear, or what other factor it could be? And I hate when we get all reversed cards. Sometimes they're okay, this time they're not. It's the reversed Six of Pentacles. Deep sigh. So somebody is perhaps indicating that they don't like or they don't appreciate some sort of flow with you. Whoops. They don't appreciate some sort of flow that you have. Talk about undercurrents. But, you know, when the Six of Pentacles is reversed, it's often talking about a downturn economically or a downturn in some way. I'm trying to apply it to the context. And maybe people in the dark drama are trying to make you feel doubtful of your own abilities to get that flow going, to move things in that proper direction. So I'm wondering if that possibly explains the shadows by saying that there's someone in the background who is broadcasting the idea that you're not up for this. They're doubtful you can do this, or you're the wrong person for this task. I mean, another way of looking at this, of course, is it's your own inner self that's doing it to you too, your own doubts. But usually the dark drama is pertaining to the buzz going around you. At any rate, we're going to move on, and we're going to look at the dark twist. What unexpected thing could happen that's possibly in your favor. Not necessarily, but it may bring things towards a different kind of energy or flow all of a sudden, unexpectedly. And I'm going to use the Deviant Moon Tarot. That's the back of it. And I like the Deviant Moon Tarot because, of course, it's got moons in it. But the idea maybe of twists and turns is very relevant to the idea of how we might have changes because of the full moon or the dark moon or an eclipsed moon or things of that sort. So I'm just going to say, what is our dark twist then? And no surprise, it's another reversed card, but it's the reversed King of Wands. And the reversed King of Wands is the dark twist, is maybe saying maybe it's within you, but maybe it's some other provocateur who somehow is either the key person here because maybe they have a negative or an anti-charisma, or there's somebody who's going to come in and shake things up because they're brash and arrogant and they don't really have the same kind of vision that you do or that others do, and that maybe they're just going to do something that really will be surprising, but mostly will look like maybe it's sort of a retreat or even a cowardly move. I leave it open that this could be yourself in a way, that your own twist is that you just find you have to cut and run in this situation. And remember, you've decided from the beginning that maybe the situation wasn't working out and you didn't want to put your energy there. Others were trying to make you feel, doubtful about it if you were going to do it. At any rate, I'm going to move on now to the dark truth. What's really at the core here? Oh my goodness, another opportunity for a reversed card. Just saying. But I'm going to use the Murder of Crows Tarot for the dark truth. And the dark truth represents the idea of something we have to accept. It could be an actual truth we have to accept. It just may be the kind of truth that personally we have to accept in terms of what our life is really trying to do to us. So, as I said, it's the Murder of Crows and it's the dark truth. It's upright. It's the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords says, the dark truth is you have to be the one to try to walk with some sense of grace or dignity and do the right thing, even if everything else is screaming at you that you can't, or that maybe you have already started to consider doing the wrong thing, or somebody is doing the wrong thing to you, or people are talking about how you're just not the right one. You have to carry yourself with as much dignity and grace as you can intact, and realize that if they are ultimately wrong, that's fine, but maybe they're not, and maybe that's why you have to persevere in a way, The Knight of Swords is really about that anyway, saying, I'm ready to engage life as a dance and let it take me where the music or the movement does. So finally, that leads us to wondering, what is our dark gift? And I use the Uncommon Tarot for that, or at least this week I do. You notice, if you've watched before, I change the decks around and sometimes add cards or change the meanings of positions or add new positions all together. So the dark gift is really, what are the skills or intuitions? What are the kind of resources? What are the powers or energies that you can actually bring to bear in the situation? And if I had to recap it real quickly, I would say you feel like you can't or you don't want to move in an evolving kind of situation. Maybe there's doubt being strewn by others, or maybe it's the feeling that something is hidden from you, or that you want to stay hidden in that matter, and that ultimately someone may just decide to go ahead and be an agent provocateur and do what they feel needs to be done that you may not be doing. Maybe that's a part of yourself, though. I want to give you that. So finally, it's just saying you have to hang tight and kind of be as diplomatic as you can. Stay the course. What is your superpower? Your dark gift. And it's the star. And the star is upright. It looks like a half-naked man throwing art at a canvas. And the star says your gift is your overwhelming hope, is your overwhelming sense of your own destiny and how you can really, like the painter in the picture, create your own destiny. Your gift is to put onto the canvas of your life, the energies, the colors, the textures that will do what you need them to do, whether it is about the situation or not. Let's look at that again. I think it could very well be saying that you're just going to find your own way here. And, you know, it sounds so much like me in my life. Sometimes I just say, I'm done. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to do it my way. And usually it's not really the right way, but it ends up being the right way for me. Now, I'm not trying to encourage you to be bad that way. But let's go on and do our final closing affirmation and shadow work from the Earth and Bone Oracle by Syrian Shadow. Let's see if it gives us a little bit of context. Remember the first one, the idea of a spring, a nurturing, a garden growing. Some of this kind of speaks to that maybe there's the idea that it's a new project and your involvement with it or with others with it has brought up a lot of competitive energies, and you have to stake out your own territory or possibly retreat. So what am I getting? Geez. Adversary. Number 29. I know I've had this once before for Goth Tarot. Hard work, diligence, progress, challenges, adversity. You've been trained, educated, and presented with lessons in today's world that will prepare you to meet your opportunities. Everything that has happened to you has been done to prepare you. You've proven that you're capable of surviving adversity and suffering. You have the ability to climb over difficulties, problems, and mountains and face them head on. You are fearless, You are fearless, brave, and strong. You have proven that you have the ability to step into the light and tackle obstacles head on, so you can have whatever you want. Easier times are approaching. Do not be concerned. You are adored and guided to precisely where you should be and doing exactly what you should do. Pay attention to the gentle nudges and synchronicities of the universe. The answers you seek are being shown to you. Work on building a set of skills and you'll be able to take the next steps on your journey. Concentrate on the current moment. Be fully present. Stop trying to get to the finish line before running the race. When you've aligned yourself with what you want, which you may do by accepting your existing situation and just being, you can stop searching and begin creating. You start to attract the things you want. Changes within you bring you what you want, not because you need it, but because it's your natural state of being. Be the person you want to be. Everything that you want is already yours. Listen to the stillness with gratitude. What do you want? What do you need? What repetitive signs in its varied forms have you been shown? Pay attention. Your answer is there. Affirmation. I trust that my soul knows what it's doing. I clearly hear the whispers of guidance that Spirit tells me. And it was a heady reading, of course. I think a lot of this has to do with basically saying you have to stand up for yourself sometimes. That's basically it. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and a lot of people are acting irrationally, and we each may have an obligation, at least within context, to say or do something about it. All right, until next week. Namaste.